Welcome once again to our second edition of UBC News Tonight on this 23rd day of March 2023. I'm Lorraine Masika Kazimoto. Now, before we delve into tonight's news bulletin, let's first take a look at the top stories tonight. And in our headlines tonight, Museveni orders State House Anti-Corruption Unit to arrest PDM funds culprits. UN commits to push Uganda's development agenda. Parliament maintains its position against homosexuality as Jacob Olanya is remembered. And IGG takes the fight to Luero pledges to touch the untouchables. Good evening once again. I'm Lorraine Masika Kazimoto. Now, President Museveni has ordered the State House Anti-Corruption Unit to investigate cases of extortion and mismanagement of funds meant for parish development model in Acholi sub-region while addressing the gathering at Kaunda grounds in Gulu City as he concluded his Acholi sub-region tour on investment and wealth creation last month. The president received shocking revelations and testimonies from the locals on how the wealth creation campaign had been mismanaged in its infant stages, expressing fear that its intended objectives might not be achieved.
President Museveni has met a group of local leaders from Acholi, led by the Gulu resident city commissioner Jane Francis Amongen Okili, to follow up on complaints made in February. The leaders included a local council chairpersons, councillors, women and youth leaders and elders. The State House Anti-Corruption Unit head Brigadier General Henry Isoke also attended the meeting. Adokorach Doreen, a farmer from Onyama Sub-County, Gulu District, told the president that the PDM is good but has been mismanaged. She said in her area, people were called to the sub-county. Instead of the parish and community development officers collected 10,000 Uganda shillings from the beneficiaries to get registered in the circle and get certificates.
Enter. Before the programs reach the down people, there are already some setbacks from the center with connivance even people at the district level. So that even when the program should really be meaningful to the people down, it does.
Opio Ronald Zola from Awad sub-county in Gulu district said many of the circles in Awad who registered their enterprises up to now have not received the money, blaming the extension workers for delaying the process. President Museveni asked the State House Anti-Corruption Unit head Brigadier Isoke to follow up on the matters raised for appropriate action. About corruption, President Museveni said the National Resistance Movement government will not fail to bring to book all those involved in messing up the parish development model.
But later when I start hearing in Uganda people here, people say they only give to themselves.
Ero doka chako winyo ki Buganda kany dano dok teka waini joni poko kingi kengi poke kengi.
Then they are bringing inferior products.
Chibene gikelo jemi maperwate, jemi mano ko gitila piny.
And they are overpriced.
And yet gikero wel mal kon kodine jemi ne peti mabe.
So I said, you soldiers, you get out of this.
Chida wai unlu monyi o okigini.
Of this poko.
O ki poke any.
Let the people now. Fortunately, the economy has recovered a bit, so we have got a bit of money.
Iguma be oloto lobo watika dongo watiki chene money.
More money than we had in the past.
Chene ne duodwong lawyer machoni.
So that's why we said, let the money go direct to the people themselves.
Eno mi owajo ni chene enido ochiro en budla tedero kikomeni.
And who are the people themselves?
Ananga malu tedero ni.
And where?
And kwene ni.
In the parish.
Any parish kuno.
President Museveni also thanked the leaders for doing a good job and enabling him to structure the method which the NRM put in place to work unlike in the past. The president believes the PDM will empower the local people to have their own banks, which will in future save the poor from borrowing from the exploitative commercial banks. The Parish Development Model Project was launched by the President in February 2022 in Kiboko District, with the parish as the lowest administrative and operational hub for delivering services closer to the people, hence fostering local economic development. Shaidat Nasakun, UBC News.
A joint steering committee meeting meant to review and endorse the annual UN country results for 2022 was today held at the office of the Prime Minister. The meeting was moderated by the Prime Minister herself, Robina Nabanja.
The Joint Steering Committee is the highest authority that implements the UN Sustainable Development Cooperation for Uganda 2020-2025 framework. Today's meeting also agreed on priorities for 2023 and discussed emerging issues.
Government is committed to strengthening the cooperation and this is articulated in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal framework. The Parish Development Model is a government's flagship program through which Ugandans outside the money economy will be facilitated. This Parish Development Model vehicle will lead us to achieve many SDGs. And I have a lot of belief that our main target, especially the one on poverty.
The UN Resident Coordinator, Susan Namondo, restated UN's continued cooperation with the government to push forward the development agenda.
Our Joint Steering Committee is the highest authority for the implementation of the cooperation framework, and it is an accountability mechanism jointly organized by the government of Uganda and the United Nations.
The agricultural sector in Uganda is absolutely central to all development progress, and smallholder farmer jobs have been a major area of focus, but I would stress that it's not just the jobs and the smallholders' productivity, but also accompanied by important aspects such as access to credit, access to new technologies and new agricultural practices.
A similar meeting was held in May last year, and a number of priorities were identified, including support to climate change mitigation.
A technical team to come up with what we can do in case we got earthquakes. We usually have the bad experience in the western part of the country, the Western Rift Valley, that is the areas of Kasese, Fort Portal, in 2016 and 1962. We lost lives. So the president was like, how do we prepare our population in case we get what happened in Turkey? So I want to draw your attention to that fact, because there is that imminent problem that can occur in this country.
A number of issues emerged and recommendations were made by the development partners. The meeting pledged to identify and tackle decisively any implementation issues that still stand in the way of service delivery.
From your work in the refugee settlements and the hosting communities, I think we all know that environmental degradation is real and is happening, and there's not much that has really been done.
Food relief. Since we were born, most of us here Ugandans, food relief for Karamati. So I think we should start thinking about something differently. Second, what about skills development?
The Joint Steering Committee remains a vital platform for engagement to influence the delivery of services to Ugandans. The meeting was attended by the Minister for Tourism, Honorable Tom Butime, the Minister of State for Defense, Honorable Oboth Oboth, the Minister of State for ICT, Honorable Kabyanga, and officials from the UN family. Doreen Nasasira reporting for UBC News.
Her Royal Highness Her Royal Highness Sylvia Najinda Luswata has officially launched her autobiography titled The Nabagereka at Sheraton Hotel in Kampala. Now, the autobiography is documented in 3 spheres of life, passion and duty. Take a look.
The Nabagereka autobiography, written by Her Highness Sylvia Najinda Luswata, the Queen of Uganda, rounds 3 spheres of life, passion and duty. United States Ambassador to Uganda, Natalie E. Brown, interprets the book as inspirational to women around the world.
Access to capital for their businesses, not to mention gender-based violence. Additionally, for many girls and young women, traditional practices impede their opportunities to pursue their own dreams at their own pace. Societal pressure may force women to marry early, leave school before completion, bear and take care of successive children instead of finding meaningful work that sets them and their families up for success. The Nabagereka confronts this in her book, where she discusses both the challenges confronted and her persistence and courage in doing things on her own timeline.
Her Royal Highness Sylvia Najinda Luswata, during the launch of her autobiography, appreciated His Highness the King of Uganda, Kabaka Mwenda Mutebi II, for the support he rendered to her sharing her story.
I would like to start by giving extraordinary appreciation from the depth of my heart to the Ssaabasajja Kabaka of Buganda, for having allowed me to lend a hand to the progress and development of our region and people, for having allowed me to do both, as the previous speakers have spoken about, and as you read in the book. I don't want to spoil it for you, although it has somehow been spoiled. And for being supportive to me while doing it.
However, she calls on the audience to receive the information in the book with a positive mindset.
Now, in this process of telling your story, you may inadvertently affect other people. So it is also a highly sensitive process, and therefore I have endeavored not to be detrimental. However, if I have disappointed or hurt anyone in this process, I ask that you forgive me.
Meanwhile, Robert Kabushenga, Maria Nassali and Jackie Asimwe, during the review of the Nabagereka autobiography, described the book as being inspirational and authentic.
The beautiful weaving of culture. And she does point out, in fact, that she knows that the women's rights movement, of which I belong, has struggled with contending with culture and modernity.
She does not hide her indiscretions and regrets from the reader, but she further reflects on it as her lesson.
In attendance at the launch symposium were ministers from Buganda Kingdom, the clergy, ministers from the government of Uganda, KCCA political leaders, among others. Justin Nakami for UBC News.
Book will sign. She has.
Thank you, Justin, for that report. Now, members of the Office of the President Employees SACCO have agreed to transfer savings into shares to create leverage for investment and create more income for the SACCO. Those who had met to ascertain the status of the SACCO's operation agreed to reduce the interest rate for borrowing from the cooperative. We have more details in this report.
The Office of the President, Employees Savings and Credit Cooperative Society Limited have held their annual general meeting at the Office of the President in Kampala. The cash at bank for the SACCO as of 31st December 2022 stood at 176 million.
Cash at hand, the one they use for operations which is in the safe, it is
8 million. How many have acquired loans? Only 17. You are not doing well. Your money is lying there and you are not utilizing it.
The one-year-old SACCO has about 165 members that save and borrow funds.
Work hard to keep the image of the past office of the president. We want you to be an example to other organizations that, the SACCO in the office of the president is doing so well. And people come to know by the way.
Whereas the enrollment of members remains low, members' savings have been transferred into shares to create income.
Savings are liquid, so members can come and pick it anytime, and because of that, you are supposed to have money on you all the time. But once it is a share, even if you are leaving, you either leave it there and account it for a loss, or you get a member who is willing to buy it and he gives you cash. Then for us, we transfer it to that member.
During the meeting, it was agreed that the interest rate be dropped from 2% to 1.5%. At least 7 million has been recovered from borrowers who had defaulted.
We are struggling to recover a balance of 2.57 million from 5 members.
Though the repayment period for the loans is arguably short to clear payments.
A 24 months is not a very short period, except depending on the volume of the loan exposure that somebody has occasioned on themselves. But it's an area that requires further discussion, especially when the loanable fund increases with the coming in of many more members.
But this money of yours, you just need to come to make an application to him. Then they sit within a day, or they agree, they make a decision, and then within 2 days, you have the money and you start your small program which you want. The problem I saw, some people want to borrow money to go and buy music.
The members also resolved to consider the appointment of a certified external auditing firm to check the SACCO's operations on an annual basis.
Managers run away with the people's savings, board members run away with the money. And if you want to assure members that their resources are well managed and they have a guaranteed future, you need an external examination of books of accounts.
Loan repayments in the SACCO are made using allowances of members. Ivan Kahwa, Sandra Kahunde, UBC News.
Not that he was bad.
The Education Service Commission has cautioned perpetrators who solicit money from the public promising to render services unto them and to talk to the Commission so as to acquire employment positions in the education sector. This was communicated by the Chairperson, Education Service Commission, Reverend Professor Dr. Sam Luboga, during the swearing-in of a new member of the Commission at the Judiciary Headquarters in Kampala. The function was graced by the Principal Judge, Dr. Flavian Nzeja.
The Education Service Commission has sworn in Rose Kabogoza Musoke Zizinga as a member of the Commission who will serve a term of 4 years in office. Principal Judge Dr. Flavian Nzeja graced the swearing-in ceremony at the Judiciary Headquarters in Kampala.
Swear that I will at all times well and truly serve the Republic of Uganda in the office of member, and that I will support and uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda as by law established. So help me God.
Dr. Flavian Nzeja tasked the newly sworn-in member to stand by the oath she took in serving the public diligently.
The oath also serves as a public pledge that you understand the requirements of the position you are now occupying and that you will do your best to meet or exceed those expectations. I have no doubt in my mind that His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda found you a competent person with high moral standing and integrity. The ball is in your court to prove to the nation that the President was right in his choice of appointing you to this office.
He, however, cited the need to amend the standing order rules as regards the education sector.
When it comes to public service, this is where we are not doing well. Disciplining people, holding people accountable for, you can have a head teacher missing in a school for an entire term, and both parents and no one even raises a finger. You need to look at these standing orders regularly and find out actually whether they are serving the purpose. Because you see, as generations come and pass, like now the laws in technology, in the area of technology, we passed a law, let's say in 2013. By 2019, it's irrelevant because new cyber crimes have come up, new technologies have come up.
Reverend Professor Dr. Sam Luboga, the chairperson Education Service Commission, cautioned those who solicit money from the public, promising to render them services of the commission, that they will be held accountable.
And anyone who is asked for money out there in the country should know that that is a fraud, that's a lie, and that the money he or she pays will not benefit her or him at all. Reach out to us and we are sure to protect your rights. Our choice should be based only on merit and the desire that our children are only taught by those people who can do the job well.
He commended the works of the Sonian member to the commission, which saw President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni reappointing her as the commission member. Rebecca Nantongo, UBC News.
Preparations in Lira City are in high gear ahead of President Yoweri Museveni's visit this weekend. The president is expected to preside over a mega fundraising for one of the oldest Pentecostal churches in the region. All Nations Gospel Church, under the stewardship of Bishop Dr. Tom Ibrahim Okello, is struggling to complete their 3 billion cathedral, which will accommodate 1,500 Christians.
Churches play a significant role in shaping the morals of the society, where a number of people run for mediation and others for psychological support. Bishop Tom Ibrahim Okello of All Nations Gospel Church, Lira, says the church has modeled many important people in the country and has been key in fighting corruption.
And the purpose of the church in every nation is that the church is a partner to the government. A government that honors God and a government that wants their people to live well, to make sure that the life of the people in our nation is good, and to make sure that they have enough provision for their life.
All Nations Gospel Church, that was founded in 80s after the liberation struggle, has been grappling with space challenge.
We have invited even the president to be with us. We want to ask you kindly to stand with us and let us build the house of God.
Construction of a 1,500-seater cathedral was commenced, but the church is now stuck with 1.6 billion required to roof.
To raise this cathedral to where it has reached, we have sunk in more than £1 billion shillings, which we believe that with the goodwill and the good heart of our brothers and sisters, of you who is coming to join us, we should raise this money and have this work done.
A mega fundraising drive has been scheduled for 26th this month, in which President Museveni is expected to grace the event that will attract hundreds of Christians from all walks of life to support the church development.
Chambogo University Department of Performing Arts is strengthening collaboration with international universities to see to it that music is used innovatively for development. One of the collaborating universities is that of Oslo Metropolitan University, Norway, where lecturers and students benefit through exchange programs and training.
From time immemorial, music has been used for different purposes, including entertainment and passing on informative and educative information to the people.
Many roles in terms of national development, because music is soothing, it can sensitize people. If you remember, during COVID-19, most of the messages will be really perceived by the people through music. So music plays a very key role in terms of national development, in that it can be used to pass on strong messages to the people and to change society.
Chambogo University Department of Performing Arts has woken up to the task of ensuring that music is innovatively used to impact the country's development. Chambogo University is now strengthening collaboration with international universities to see to it that music is considered as an important discipline.
There's a section of music called ethnomusicology. When I was in Makerere, before I came to Chambogo, we actually had a project on archiving music, and we trained librarians to do the archiving of music. So a collection of music from different parts of Uganda has been actually archived, and when you sit in that music archive, you listen to music from the different parts of Uganda. So the archiving project is going on, and it's very important, and it also helps to not only to document for posterity, but also for education.
And that our musicians are responsible in their practice. They are first and foremost responsible to the community they are serving as musicians. They should use their talent well to mold our communities, to educate our communities in good morals, morals that uphold our values as a community.
University, Norway, has seen lecturers in the Department of Performing Arts attend further training in the music discipline.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom Voice Bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're descending into Entebbe Airport. For those proceeding to Kampala City, the biggest event in East Africa is in town.
That's right, the East African Business Expo 2023 is happening from the 23rd to the 26th of March at Kololo Grounds. Join us to network, connect, and grow. Contact us for exhibition or sponsorship opportunities. The 14th East African Procurement Forum and Business Expo 2023 is hosted by PPBA.
Now sit back and relax. It's time to explore great business opportunities.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president.
Their support meant so much to me, and as a teenage girl, I stayed focused and was protected from child marriage and teenage pregnancy. I will support other girls against child marriage and teenage pregnancy.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
The Chillax bundles from Airtel have been upgraded. Introducing Voice Chillax bundles. No validity, no expiry, no worries. Dial *100*1#, select voice bundles and choose your preferred Voice Chillax bundle today. Talk longer with loved ones across Uganda with Voice Chillax bundles that don't expire. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad that you're still with us here on UBC News Tonight. I'm Loreen Masika Kazimoto. Now, in more news, government has laid strategies to control damages and threats that will be caused by landslides and heavy rains in the Elgon region, expected to start late March through May 2023. State Minister for Disaster Preparedness and Refugees, Esther Ayakun, says so far 305 shelters have been constructed to house Bugishu sub-region under the Bulambuli Resettlement Program, which is to start in April.
As heavy rains are expected to start this late March through May 2023, as per the Uganda National Meteorological Authority, Ministry for Disaster Preparedness and Refugees reveals its readiness to respond to any risks and damage expected to occur, especially in the Elgon region, Rwenzori region, Kasese, among other high-risk areas.
A total of 305 houses have been constructed so far, of which at the moment we have 42 newly constructed houses ready for relocation. 1 billion shillings meant for relief items, but right now Ministry of Health is also Ministry of Finance is raising from the contingency plan. I think you remember Karamoja was given 135 billion from the contingency plan. They are releasing 20 more billion shillings for Karamoja.
Rainfall Season Outlook 2023 forecast reveals that areas of Karamoja, Bukedi, Bugisu will experience normal rains. Rwenzori, Kigezi and Central region of the country will experience normal to above rains.
Flooding, waterlogging in low-lying areas, parts of the lower slopes of Mount Elgon, Butaleja, Butebo, Rubanda, Kasese. This is likely to lead to destruction of farmland crops. Landslides, mudslides, as well as increased soil erosion in island areas of Elgon, Rwenzori, and Kigezi. Hailstone at the onset of the rains may cause destruction in the districts of Kibale, Sembabule, Ibanda, Bukomasindi.
But to reduce on the risks expected, Anyakun expressed the need for more funds to respond to disaster that may occur following the heavy rains expected.
That's why we want more increase in the budget for disaster management. But I mentioned in my report that
Government is urged to reduce taxes on irrigation equipment in order to make them affordable to farmers in order to reduce over-reliance on rain-fed agriculture. According to Patrick Mufoya, the Managing Director, Davis and Shutliff Irrigation, he says that irrigation is critical in improving livelihood and empowering communities.
Change in climatic conditions is affecting food security across the region. Weather patterns are becoming less predictable to the disadvantage of the farmers. With the swelling population, rain-fed agriculture is no longer viable.
So you can be able to get drip irrigation solutions. You can be able to get, this will be drip irrigation, this will be sprinkler irrigation. And the use of either technology depends on the type of crops that you're actually planting that would guide what solution or technology to apply.
As a country, we have a comparative advantage in the agricultural sector. So you cannot talk about value addition and agro-processing in isolation of energy. That's why we are very much interested in the energy space, because it contributes to agro-processing, it contributes to value addition.
The theme of the United Nations World Water Day 2023, Accelerating Change to Solve the Global Water and Sanitation Crisis, highlights the importance of water to humanity. New technologies in water harvesting and extraction are being deployed across the country to address the pressing need for water for household use and agriculture.
In solving the problem at hand, all players, all stakeholders must be involved. I would actually say it's a situation whereby all hands need to be on the deck. We, the people in the private sector, like Davis and Shutliff, the government, institutions, development partners need to work together, and even the communities themselves.
However, the water machines are costly and out of financial reach for many farmers. This therefore calls for multi-sectoral collaboration to bring down the cost of irrigation equipment and make subsistence and commercial agriculture sustainable.
Looking at the space where we're working, I'm not aware of any tax exemptions or duties for products that are addressing climate change, with the exception of exemption on VAT on solar panels, for example. Maybe I would consider it maybe as an advocacy kind of approach, where the government could actually consider putting in place some policy guidelines that would support activities that are meant to address climate change.
The United Nations Sustainable Goal 6, which is anchored on ensuring availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation, is well off track and is likely not to be achieved by most sub-Saharan countries, among them Uganda. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
Makerere University has presented its Strategic Plan 2022-2030, which aims at uplifting the standards of the eldest institution. While addressing the press conference, Vice-Chancellor Professor Barnabas Nawangwe highlighted the journey to enhance safety of students, creation of innovation hubs, as well as introductions of mindset education course to empower students with extra touch.
Most students after graduation start looking for jobs. Some get, while others totally fail. According to the Vice-Chancellor Makerere University, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, this is attributed to the mindset change. Now, in a press briefing, Professor Nawangwe announces the introduction of the mindset course to empower students with extra touch.
The issue of decolonization of higher education is a worldwide thing. Okay, it is not just here, but for us, we are taking it to another level. We want to do total emancipation of our minds to say we can do everything that other people do. While we have been changing your attitude as you go through the university, we believe that there is more work to do, and that's why we are introducing this mindset course.
The Vice-Chancellor also says the university has established innovation hubs, which is a training ground for students and communities who may wish to create new opportunities.
0.7 billion shillings has been allocated from the RIF funds, has been allocated for commercialization of innovative projects that arise out of the research which is being done using the RIF funds and any others. So far, 40 projects are going through the process of intellectual property management to commercialize. My colleagues from the hub will expound on that in case you want more details. Setting up a state-of-the-art innovation board with 10 design labs with support from the UNDP. The UNDP is collaborating with us, giving us support to establish these design labs.
On the safety of students who study at Makerere University, the university administration is engaging hostel owners who accommodate the university students to ensure safety and well-being of their students.
However, what we are saying this time around is that we want to enhance the relationship to make it more formal by signing agreements with these hostel owners such that we can improve the welfare of our students. We have a list of the surrounding hostels.
The Gender Mainstreaming Department at Makerere University has informed media that the campaign against sexual harassment is still on at the eldest institution, calling on students to always report the perpetrators.
Once the reports come, they are properly investigated and reports acted upon. From 2018, we have sacked six staff. We have completed already 5 investigations, and they are at different stages of handling by the disciplinary handling mechanisms of the university. For the staff, it's the appointments board, and then for the students, it's the students' disciplinary committee. And then in total, from 2018, we are handling 30 cases, others at different levels of information gathering.
Joseph Bule, UBC.
Now, UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, and we will return after these messages.
TB kills approximately 30 people daily, and 247 Ugandans fall ill of TB disease every day. TB has killed dreams and families. We all deserve a chance in life to hustle, smile. We all deserve a chance to dream and be the best version of ourselves. It is preventable and curable. Know your status. TB testing, treatment, and all TB-related services are free in all government hospitals and accredited private health centers.
Jerry con! Jerry con! Hey, Master Blaster! Touch him, man! Bang Jerry con with muscle! Those ones who say go for you only. Mundava! Best school fees I teach you. When I go to the Muscari, because of the cover is very far. Is you serious? It's serious you. What? Yeah? You stay put on it. Add kilometers to your legs, and you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru, and Umaru refuse to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru, Jerry,
okukakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu teri kitulema.
Okusookedde ddala omwoleso gw'okulunda ebyennyanja okutumiddwa Fish Farming Expo and Training ekajjansi ku Aquaculture Research and Development Center kutandika Friday nga 24 paka Sunday nga 26 March 2023 essaawa 2 ez'okumakya buli lunaku osirenya 15 zokka n'omutwalo ku buli training. Jangu oyige okwongerako makungula n'essente z'ofuna mu byennyanja oyige bwe baalusa endiisa n'enkola emmere y'ebyennyanja endwadde n'enzijanjaba yaabyo era obikuuma otya nga biramu ate nga bya mutindo omwoleso kujjudde bakukubeerere mu byebyennyanja bouncing kazo z'abaana ebisanyusa ntoko endongokasigu buli lwaggulo okuva mu bayimbi ba Uganda b'enjawulo eno olaba oyiga ng'ate onyumirwa obulamu Fishwise kuba essimu 0702 62205 oba 0772 622 okumanya ebisingawo tosubwa omwoleso gw'ebyennyanja okuwagiddwa naro nga gutegekeddwa Slick Stars.
With God, comfort replaces pain, peace replaces confusion, hope replaces sorrow. God loves you and knows you personally. He hears you and speaks to you in your thoughts, in your heart, and through living prophets. Come hear the words God has for you. Watch the General Conference on Sunday, 2nd of April.
Welcome back from that break, and now into the business scene. Over 100 women vendors operating at Freedom Market Kalirwe in Wakiso district have expressed their appreciation towards the Institute for Social Transformation, an NGO, for the financial support through a revolving fund it gives to boost their business, funded by Korea Hope Foundation. They made the remarks at a function, and a 10 million Uganda shillings check was handed over to Kalirwe Women Vendors Association to empower them at Kalirwe Market.
The government of Uganda has over the past decades started initiatives to uplift livelihoods of its citizens with the purpose of financial inclusion, with the most recent parish development model targeting subsistence earners. Non-government organizations, potential individuals and donors have jointly come out to support the cause towards social and economic development. Institute for Social Transformation is one of these stakeholders that provide financial literacy and business mentorship, as well as provide revolving funds to women in small-scale business. Women vendors operating at Kalere Freedom Market are some of the beneficiaries of this revolving fund.
natandikira mu bijanjalo ne kawo nemberawo nga ntuza capital yonna nanzigwako omukunzi gwako nembera nga ngenda mu mabanka nga nfunye okusoomozebwa kungi nnyo mu bya sente za banka ekubeera nga muno baleeta ekibiina ne kitandika otusomesa ekibiina kino kyatusomesa bizinensi era bizinensi eno mu magezi ga kibiina kino egantuusizza wano wendi.
They said the fund has relieved them of the burden by money laundering institutions that charge huge interests for loan servicing. Justin Namata, the chairperson Kalere Market Women Vendors Circle, laments about the significance of the fund and the mentorship support that has seen them grow their business.
Fenga abakyala ekibiina kino kituyambye nnyo kubanga tusobodde okwegulira amataka okutwala abaana baffe ku masomero wamu n'okuzimba amayumba. Kituyambyeko okubeera abakulembeze abalungi n'obuteetittira.
Executive Director, Institute for Social Transformation, Maureen Wagubi, has pledged total financial support to women in small-scale business.
Here to give our women some financial support through their revolving fund so that we can also support government. You know, government has come through to support the women with the parish development model, but we felt like the women who are working in the informal sector are also not benefiting so much because they have to go back to their parishes to get access to this. And if you look at the way they operate, most of the time, 24/7, they're in the markets.
Mwaivan Juko for UBC.
Doho Rice Farmers Savings and Credit Cooperatives leadership are struggling to recover loans advanced to their members. Speaking during the annual general meeting held at Doho Rice Scheme headquarters in Butaleja district, SACCO board chairperson Mbayo Stephen Gagwa said most of the members take loans but delay to repay, which has crippled the running of the SACCO. Started in 2015 with only 32 members, Doho Farmers SACCO currently has 1,407 members who have saved over 500 million shillings, majorly from rice farming. Malinga Dawson, Kapeli and Dr. John Mudusu attribute the delay to pay back the loans to poor weather conditions that affected their yields. Meanwhile, the Butaleja District Woman Member of Parliament, Andiru Florence Nibanda, urged farmers to plant more trees to address the effects of climate change, mainly floods and hailstone that affects their harvest.
One period they are given, it passes on when they have not cleared with us. And failing to clear that money in time, it affects us so much because as that one fails to clear, there are many others who are already with their applications at the table, of which we can't be in a position to fulfill their requirements. So that one is affecting us so much because as that one fails to clear, there are many others who are already with their applications at the table.
You expect to make 1,000 or 1,000 kilograms of mineral rice or so, only to find yourself getting less than halfway that way. And you have picked money, knowing that having got that number of kilograms, things will do what? Will do very well. You expect that the expenditure will be less than your input, and therefore you will do what? You get money.
Emisiri zaffe tezateekebwa ku level entereevu
bwe baali bazitukwasa ekyokubiri nekiba baatuwa awantu watereka nankani bwe batereka amazzi gye tuyita reservoir awantu awo watono omusana we guba gwase awantu awo tewasobola kutuwa mukisa kuba nti amazzi ago gasobola okusaasaana mu nnimiro zonna ate enkuba bw'eba etonye nyingi amazzi ago ate nankanyiriza bwe tesobola kukuuma amazzi gano.
As you can see, when the moment we hear Manafa, there are floods, the Miswinda, we know Butaleja is next. So we are trying to much as possible to make use of the water reservoir and to make sure that people don't tamper with the water channels. There was a plan to create a water reservoir outside so that we are not overwhelmed. We reserve here and sometimes outside of our district. But there was political issues which we got involved. But we are trying to lobby and reconnect more with our donors, World Bank, to facilitate so that the dam is created.
Financial fraud has of recent ruffled feathers among stakeholders in the banking sector, with fraudsters hacking into money systems, leading to savers and institutions' loss. Bankers, security officers and mobile phone operators have been holed up in a meeting discussing on how to dislodge financial fraudsters. Close to 42 billion Uganda shillings has so far been stolen, mainly through digital platforms across all financial institutions, mainly banks.
We heard that the current fraudsters are very sophisticated. They are skilled, they are multi-layered.
Financial fraud is increasingly becoming the main cause of financial seepage across banking institutions, ruffling feathers among regulators and savers.
We know that fraud is a global phenomenon. It's not just only happening in Uganda. So we've invited our friends to also come and share with us lessons learned, what they're doing differently, what can we learn from their experiences.
Speakers at a Financial Fraud 2023 forum that has just ended in Kampala, one of a high bleak future unless the public assists security and financial experts about the vice in real time so that fraudsters are upheld.
But the police has an awareness that we need to use technology, we need to use digital means of fighting fraud.
The Chief Executive Officer, Stanbic Bank, Anne Juko, however, assured savers of safety of their money and to have confidence in the banks.
So to our customers, to trust the system because it has worked and it continues to work. And the other part is your bankers are looking to serve you honestly, right? So if you do have an issue, speak to your bank. Every single, and I now speak for Stanbic. Every single time a customer has come to us, we've investigated to end. Sometimes we found them giving their password to somebody else. Sometimes we find there was a genuine fraud in their accounts.
The Chief Executive Officer, Uganda Bankers Association, said that though the banks are on the edge due to financial fraud, they are on high alert.
Your money is very safe, and I tell you why. First, because you have put it in an institution. So you can easily say, no, whatever happened, me, I entrust in you with my money. I want it back. So you have a fallback, and these are regulated institutions. But we also have systems and processes. We have thousands of attempts, millions daily. Less than 3% of them succeed. In other words, 97% of the time.
Police and external security organization representatives participated in the Financial Fraud Forum 2023 and assured stakeholders that they are on top of the game and advised stakeholders to play their part.
Analyzing the human resource we have so that we can find out the gaps. We may have a very huge human resource which cannot handle crime. But if we do the skill gapping and analysis, we shall be able to fight this crime.
Our objective as security is to make life impossible for the fraudsters, wherever they are. Whether you go left, see whether you go where under the water, we get you. You can't run away. We have a lot of corporations
Financial fraudsters reportedly use a variety of tricks, mainly digital techniques, to steal from banks and savers' accounts. Deo Habimana compiled this report.
Welcome back from that break, and now into the sports scene. The national senior football team, the Cranes, has had its last training session ahead of Friday's game against Tanzania at Suez Canal Authority Stadium. Cranes players were in a buoyant mood with the simple drills for physical fitness, and the Cranes tactician Mitchell believes his team will pull up a show despite sitting last in the group. The two teams will later face off again after 4 days in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania.
Sleepless nights, so many hard-working days, distance coaching the players where they are, being in touch with their technical teams, collecting the team purely on the best we have from the selection of under 20. We have promoted 4 players from the selection of Olympic team finalists of Mauritania. We have selected 8 players from the selection of Chan. We have also added some players who bounced back like Ochaya and Jamal with their performances in the clubs. And of course we are having a set of senior players that have been a long time together here. And when I look at everything, after collecting together, after touching every single detail and making sure that theoretical awareness is there about the sources of vulnerability and points of danger in Tanzania team.
First of all, again, I would love to thank God that the preparations have gone really well. As a captain, I'm really impressed with the players, with the effort they've put in to get ready for this game. You can see that we have a lot of potential, and the players are really ready. They are 100% ready to give in their best tomorrow and to get the required results. We need 3 points in the game tomorrow. And everyone, from the young players that have just joined the team and us the experienced players, we are really ready to give Ugandans the joy that they deserve.
And with that, UBC News Tonight has come to an end. Thank you so much for your company this evening. Now, on behalf of the team working behind the scenes and myself, we wish you a blessed night.